Hello, welcome to Anson Griffin's occasional series in YouTube tutorials. Today I'm looking at a function that's available on the Matlab Central File Exchange. You see it there in front of you. So just to give full credit to Brett Shoelson, he wrote the function and it's there, and you can see just up there, or if you just Google that and you'll find it on the Matlab Central File Exchange. So I downloaded it over here, I installed it, etc., and it's up and running. So I can exit that. I ran it here. I doubt if I'll be able to give everything a full attention here, but just to give you some idea of what's going on. So number of tabs up here. So let's just look at Edge here, and in here there's a number of edge detectors. Some are better than others, like the Roberts would be fairly simple edge detector, and then Sobel and Pruitt and Canny get better, and the log, the Laplacian, the Gaussian would be for fairly noisy images, and there's not a lot of noise here, so perhaps that wouldn't be the best. And then you can adjust the sensitivity here, the direction, and the sigma here for the log and the Canny. So there's a lot to do, and I'm only giving you an idea. So let's just take a fairly simple one here. There's the Roberts, and then we can, and you can see here that the Roberts isn't great for edge detectors, and there it's fairly noisy. So let's just go to a slightly better one. Let's go to a Sobel. And we're beginning to find some edge detectors there. And let's look at the Canny. And that's giving us, well, reasonable results. Nothing brilliant, but you can just play around with the sensitivity threshold there to whatever you want. You can reset it back to the original image here. It warns you that any work you've done may not be saved, so that's okay. We're back to the original image. Let's look at some thresholding here. You left button click here on the edge. Little hard the first time. And then you just apply a threshold. It treats it as a grayscale image, and everything above, say that's about 0.33, so that's 0.33 of the 0 to 256 scale, so that's around 84, 85, something like that. So anything 84 or below becomes black, and anything that's 84 and above becomes white. So you just see it there, and you can play around with it, oops, until there, and then, sorry, it's getting, and then right click, it'll just reset it back to the default. So remember, if you look up IM threshold in Matlab, it uses Otsu's method, which is sort of a weighted average, and that's about 0.4, and 0.4 of 255 is about 104, 105, so that's where the split is. You can give different thresholds here. There's 2 thresholds, 3 thresholds, 4 thresholds, etc., and you can just keep going. Reset the original, warning you that you may lose any work here. Let's look at the how function here. So I'm going to launch the, just to give you here, the Circle Finder app. I couldn't find any circles here, but just to give you some idea early on, you can play around with the polarity, the method. Let's try here. There's not many circles here. That's possibly circular, but that lad popping out there isn't great. So we're not going to have a little look here, or we're not going to have a lot of luck in finding it. Just going to make that fairly small, and just going to make that quite big. And just get that up a little. Okay. And process now. No circles detected, as we expected. You can play around with these, and you can play around with the sensitivity. And if you did find a circle, you could export and save, but nothing doing there. Just in case there's any changes, just reset the original. Now here we're just using extended min max, so I'm not going into IM extended and IM extended max because it's just too complicated to explain, but it's just a method of thresholding out the images. Again, if you like that image, you could export the image and generate the code if you want it. I'm not going to bother. Color based. You can slide this here. So what we said is, oops, there's 8 colors, so it tags out 0 to 8 segmented colors. And here, if you click the title, it'll include inclusion or omission of the red color masks. So the masks are given as well. I prefer to go this way though, but this is just personal preference. Let's select the color threshold. Let's go with that. Sorry, hitting the wrong one. There we are. And now we can, excuse me, sorry for moving the mic, we can play with the RGB color. So say we want to pick out the fairly white bit, so that's, you know, a lot of red, a lot of green, a lot of blue. And there we are, there we have the fairly white bits here. I'm just going to go back to the way it was. Just get the 0 to 255 or 0 to 1, whichever way you want to look at it for all the... Now this image is a little awkward to segment out color-wise because it's under quite bright light, so you think it would be easy to hammer out the yellow there. Yellow is a mixture of red and green, but the white lights are making a mess of it, so we should be able to, if I just drop that blue there, you would hope that you'd get the yellow with the red and green, but you're getting the black because that black there is it's under the spotlight, contains white light, and because there's no blue, there's no white there, so we get that mess there. But just to give you some idea, now you could change the color model and it may be better. I'm just giving you some idea of how that works. Just X out of that, and remember we went to there by launching the color threshold app. Okay, just reset the original. Just go back to, say, the edge, and let's just go back to, say, the Sobel. Now, in here, we can put the overlay on it. So you can, just one sec now if I show you this. Don't see much there, but if you look at the image opacity, there you can sort of see the segmented image with no background, and then the image opacity, as that goes up, you see the mix of the thresholded image and the original image. You can play around with what the overlay color is by clicking there, and you can select different colors there. Just say green, and then you get that. I think the black is best. Finally, if you're happy with your results, you can export the image. And that, if I just get back to here, there we are. The current image is written to seg tool image 2. You can see it there in the workspace. And there's the commands. And then if you wanted, you could write that file to image, if you wanted to. Okay, so hope that helps a little, and thanks very much for listening.